On Lagos Talks 913, we have the chairman of Ikoyi-Obalende LCDA joining us this morning for a conversation on Lagos Weekly. You know, we bring you your public officers, the public servants of the states, to come speak to you as we focus on what really is happening in our space right here in Lagos. We want to understand what really is going on with governance. So we have this morning the man that also soon has become the outgoing chairman of Ikoyi-Obalende LCDA, and he's here with us in the studio. Fuad, as many call him, is with us this morning. Honorable, good morning to you.
Good morning, my bro. Morning.
Good to have you back in the studio.
Thanks for having me. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been, I must say the way it is. It's been like 3 years since I've spoke to you.
I know. A lot has gone down, you know. A lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
And when I look at your face, I mean, I keep asking myself that question. Are you missing the office?
Am I missing this office?
Yeah.
No. No. It's been 8 years of back-to-back work. So, 8 years of delivering grassroots governance to our people. Okay. 8 years of giving back to this community. 8 years of serving the people diligently, efficiently, effectively. So for me, it's been work from since 2017 up until now. You know, we leave office in, I think, sometime in July 25th, but we're still working. You know, we're building a world-class, state-of-the-art medical facility in our primary healthcare center. Never been built in this Travis local government. Never been built by any local government in Nigeria. You can quote me with local government money.
Wait. But a lot of local governments have built
facilities. No, I'm telling you, what we are building, you see, it's one thing for people to build. But what we are building has never been built by any local government in Nigeria with local government money. So people talk about autonomy and the local government getting more money. It's not enough for you to get more money and do nothing with the money. What we're doing now is we're building a state-of-the-art medical facility that will serve this community.
How many?
30 bed space.
30 bed space.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
30, yeah.
And it's going to take both inpatients and outpatients?
Of course. We even have a private ward as well. So there's a general ward and there's a private ward, private wards, you understand? So to serve our people. This is what we're doing for women, children, people, fathers, everybody. And that's what we're doing at Ikoyi-Obalende LCDA. Okay,
let's not jump. We'll come back to the projects now. But you came in 8 years ago, like you said. Yeah. And in those 8 years, everybody coming into office is expected to have an agenda, a purpose, a motivation. What motivated you to come into office back then?
Back then, it was a clear case of I was born in this community. I was raised in Obalende here. And most of the things that I saw growing up were no longer there. And I said to myself, I think I can fix it. I think I can change this thing. I think I can do well, And I said it from when I was in uni. I told my friends, I said, I'm going to be the local. I want to go into politics, and I'll be the local government chairman. And they said, why local government? I said, that's the only place you can make real change. Do you understand? This is the only place you can connect with your people. We've had people come before me, and people are still going to come after me. So where? And I said, local government. And the opportunity came in 2017. And see, let's not forget that this is a population, Ikoyi-Obalende has a population of about 340-something thousand people. And God said, you will be the leader of this local government. You'll be the one to be chairman. And you think I'm going to take it for granted? No.
So when you look back at your 8 years and when you ask yourself, Fuad Atanda-Lawal, this is what I set to achieve.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've achieved everything you set out to achieve?
We've surpassed what the things we set for ourselves. In 2017, we said we're going to do X, Y, Z, but we've surpassed all of those things. And we're going to work along 5 key areas. We said our focus should be on, what's it called, the health sector. Then our road networks were bad, in Ikoyi-Obalende. We've worked on that as well. The environment is something that we're still working on, education, the youth and women empowerment programs and things like that, things that we're working on. So I can say to you for a fact that we got in 2017. In 2018, we built 2 primary healthcare centers. One was commissioned in 2019, the other one was commissioned in 2018. So the one we commissioned in 2019 is what we pulled down in 2024 or 2023. Why? that center became a very popular center during COVID. No one saw COVID coming. No one saw the pandemic. No one could even fathom it. Like how, So that center was where most people got vaccinated and all of that, And we felt like center couldn't hold. There was no way. We had to expand to serve our people better, and that's what we're doing. That's what we have done. So come July of this year, we'll be commissioning that center for our people again. So we take over infrastructure, road networks, bad roads. Most of these things are things that I saw growing up. We had good roads in Ikoyi-Obalende. We had very good roads. The lights, street lights were working and all of that. So, getting there, I felt like, we're not enjoying most of these things again. Can we change this thing? So, but then again, that's why, for you to understand the community, you must live in the community. Do you understand? And that was what made my job easy. The fact that I'm from here, I knew the problems of this community. I was able to solve most of the problems of this community, and it has worked for us.
All right. And in solving these problems, run us through the key challenges or the key problems of the community when you left. And let's start with that. We'll come to the other line of question. What were the major problems of community? Because many people will say to you that, it's Ikoyi now. It's all tarred roads, all the big boys. They don't have challenges.
So for infrastructure was a problem. There was a huge infrastructure deficit. It was a big problem.
What kind of infrastructure deficit?
No road, no bad road networks. They will say Ikoyi. Don't forget that we have Obalende in Ikoyi. Obalende is southwest Ikoyi. Do you understand? We had like Awolowo Road, off Awolowo Road, Raymond Njoku, Ademola Street, and the likes. Even Obalende here, the roads were very bad. Even on Kefi, the road was bad. So most parts of Ikoyi, bad roads. You understand? We had to wake up and say, what, let's fold our sleeves, let's get this job done. We've done that. Obalende, we didn't have a working primary healthcare center when we came in 2017. We fixed all of that. Now there's one in Obalende Road. The other one we're building now is in Dolphin Estate.
We're rebuilding.
We knocked it down and we had to start afresh. We started in February of this year. And by the special grace of God, we're doing the finishing now. Yes. So just like a little under 5 months, and then we'll be done by July. And that's it for us. All
right. And when you look at your space, before we come into the details, we've spoken about the health facilities. We'd like to hear about the youth and the street boys. We'd like to hear all that. But when you look back at, you're just about 2 months to the end of your tenure. And what are those things that you weren't able to do and you'd like to give as a message to people coming after you?
Oh, so if there's anything at all, where we have the current site of the medical, the primary healthcare center now, we have squatters like around there, and it's not a good facade for what we're building there. So I've tried, we got like court judgments against them. They've not moved because they are police, quote and unquote. You understand? So it's something that I'll leave in my handover notes for my successor. You to also see how you can face them out. You understand? And that should work. Another thing again is the good boys. You understand? Find squatters around everywhere. If you go on Thompson, if you go on Glover, Cooper Road, you find all of these people there. We've tried, you understand, to move them around. We chase them today, they come back tomorrow. So we need a more sustainable approach, to tackle that, you understand. So these are things that I will leave for my successor. We'll continue. We've started on a very good part. Like, we've given you guys a first class, council secretariat. We just had to do the remodeling as well. That has worked. We're also leaving you a state-of-the-art medical facility. All of that. So basically, your focus now will be to see how you can also, continue with the good works, road networks and these things that I've mentioned earlier. That's the squatters, and see how we can seal up abandoned properties, because that's where you find them. And it's been a big problem for people. Like, I've had residents call me to say, Chairman, what are you doing with regards to this? But the thing is, my resources are limited. To do enforcement, I need to call the police. And most of them even know the police guys. So where do I start from? So these are things that we also have to tackle. So for me, my focus now is in completing the primary healthcare center and completing 1 or 2 other roads, and I think we're fine. Yeah.
Looking at all that you've done, from street lights to road construction and all that, we've seen, or we still see to date, many local governments where chairmen of those local governments are not regarded, they are not seen to be working, and they are not working. There are no projects that people can point at. There's a local government inside, I won't mention names, it won't look like we're comparing, where a councillor there said to me then that in the last 1 year or so, that it's taken about 6 months to complete a 100-meter road and that stuff. Why is it so difficult for local government chairmen and other community leaders to function and provide governance to the people?
Well, I will speak for myself, and I'll speak for myself in the sense that you say we're born different, we're built differently. Do you understand? Where I'm from, we believe in hard work. My mom would wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, do chores that wake us up and do things for us and go provide for the family as well. Do you understand? I saw all of these things growing up, and for me, it was because the only substitute to a hard life is hard work. And it explains why we continue to flourish on the job. Do you understand? I don't care who's not doing well. What I'm concerned about is what I am doing and what we are doing for our people. This is Ikoyi-Obalende. If you don't get things done, people will call you out. Do you understand? We've got, for everyone that has attained, businessmen, captains of industry, they all reside in this community. And we can't afford not to serve properly. The Obalende people also deserve like good governance. And we're not going to neglect them as well. We've never left them for a second. So if one wakes up and decides not to do anything, it's on them. If we've chosen the path of, to be progressives and to champion development, to champion infrastructure and all of that, it's on us. Because posterity will judge us. I have a son that looks up to me. He loves me. He talks about me. Like, his dad does this. Is this and that. He loves the things that I do. He sees us building recreational parks, building roads, hospitals, and renovating schools. And he talks to his friends about it. So if I don't do all of it, what will my son be telling his friends? Now, what does your father do? This is just a mayor. He does nothing. Do you understand? But because I've been able to set a good example for my son to see, I'm super excited about the future of my son. So I'm not going to be here forever, but people will remember me. And so come, your dad. Yeah. Your dad is this. Your dad is that. Do you understand? But so that's what I want people to see. My personal life, my private life, my public life. People should know that Fuad came in 2017, and in 2025, when he was leaving, he had done XYZ. Things that can be verified, not white elephant projects, you understand? Things that people can point to and say, look at what Fuad is. I'm sure. No, it wasn't just me. Right. It was a case of me, my exco, the councillors, the leaders of the party. We all came together and said, these are the things that we're going to drive. And it has worked for us. All
right. So when you look at this, you leave in office just when the direct payment or disbursement of a FAC to local governments is about to start. It hasn't started, right? It hasn't started. Have you received any direct payment yet?
Don't forget that we're an LCDA. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So what we should be pushing for now is to see how they can recognize
the LCDs,
LCDs as local governments.
Well, it ties into two of the questions then in one. Because how do you feel now that you're living and this policy or this directive is about to come into play? Do you feel that you would have been able to achieve more if this was in place before, while you were in office?
No, I don't. To be honest, I don't feel in type of way. So for me, I want to believe that it's what we've done as local government. So you can't be championing, you want autonomy, you want XYZ, and they find that you're irresponsible. Do you understand? Because we're responsible, and because Mr. President has seen that for us to move this local government, for us to move Nigeria forward, the local governments must function. Subsidy removal, all of those things put together, our allocations went up. So what are we now doing with the allocation? Are we serving ourselves or we're serving the people? I remember in 2017 when we came in, I got allocation of 26 million, 36 million, 40 million. Don't forget that it was divided into 4. So if the allocation for the month was like 20 million, like 200 million, that had to be divided into 4. And from that, we were still going to pay teacher salaries, civil servant salaries. Everything was embedded into that. Do you understand? So then came Mr. President that took out, full subsidy. Allocations went up. And now we're embarking on bold initiatives, projects that would affect the lives of a common man. So we're not just talking about road patching and all. We do roads like a state government. We're not patching roads. We're doing proper roads with paved. Yeah.
Like Engineer Omar said, we used to build roads, now we're constructing roads.
We're constructing roads. We're not playing. We're not doing.
All right. Now, talking about that and the increase, how important is transparency to governments? Because if you ask a lot of local governments now, they would not be able to tell you how much IGR they get or they make and how much they get from the FAC allocation. How important is transparency?
No, basically, listen, if you're going to ask these questions, just go under the Freedom of Information Act and ask your question. It's there. They should tell you. There's nothing you're hiding. What are you hiding from the people? They already know what you've gotten as a local government. It's yours. They will just do the plus and minus, divided by 4. and say, you know what, this is what you got this month. Do you understand? When you now do the mathematics, then you now say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take out teacher salaries from this money. I'm going to take out civil servant salaries from this money. And so what's left? So what's left is what comes to the local government to see how we can also continue to drive our policies and the things that we want to do for the people.
All right.
And it works.
And talking about funds, how much of the residents' input went into the projects that you did?
No, so I'll tell you. So it's in two parts. If we were to look at like revenue, for example, most residents don't pay to the local government. If you ask them, they pay their land use charge to the state government. You understand? And
do you think that should change?
If that should change,
yeah,
I don't know. To be honest with you, they pay that to the local government. So I'll tell you, they complain to us. They say, "Chairman, our roads are bad, but one heavy construction going on there, on that road. They've damaged the roads." And I ask them again, "Did you make any payments to the local government?" They say, "No." "Who did you pay to the state government?" I say, "But that's not my business. I still have to fix your road." Do you understand? So when it comes to revenue drive for the local government, what exactly do we get from residents in Ikoyi-Obalende? Radio and TV license. How many residents pay? 500 naira per annum for radio and TV license. But if I'm to do the mathematics and 500 times multiplied by, how much are we possibly going to get? So these are things that, that we really want to change as well. So because the more revenues we get and we're able to embark on more bold initiatives and for our people.
And maybe we begin to wind down right now that when you look at the role of local government in the bigger picture of a Lagos mega city. What role does the local government have to play there?
You see, I'll tell you, the local government, and if you were to understand this, we have more roads than the state and the federal government combined. The public primary schools, that's the cradle. Public primary schools are under the local government. We have 11 public primary schools here, 8 junior secondary schools. They're under our purview. Do you understand? And if we were to say, Lagos is going to be a mega city, we need to start listening to the local governments. We need to work more with the local government. There's a synergy between the state and the local government. We work together most things. The things I know I can't do, I write to the state government to see how they can help us as well. So it's a relationship that works, you understand? And I want to say everyone should also start, communicating. It's not a case of I'm bigger than a commissioner is bigger than some stupid arguments here and there. Do you understand? That's none of my business. So long I get my work done, I don't care who's bigger than me. That's none of my business. I just need things to go well. So because when you start fighting, we're going to suffer. Our people are going to suffer. Do you understand? I don't want that. Do you understand? I've done my part 8 years. There's nothing to give anymore. There's nothing to give at this point. Do you understand? Other than just deliver the primary healthcare center to our people.
All right. Now, you've done health, you've focused, you've done education.
Yeah.
The youth, you've provided some facilities.
Yeah, youth and women empowerment program. Yeah.
Road construction.
Yes, environment as well. Yeah.
But in the midst of all this, there is a place around within your constituency that is it Igbo Road, which we hear is now being converted to. There are a lot of young guys there who are getting into this.
Is it Igbo Road or Ojo?
Is it Ojo?
The Suya Junction.
The Suya, yeah. So, I mean, how do you, with all these facilities you provide, and still seeing that there are young boys who are disregarding this, but getting involved in drug abuse, which, of course, a report shows recently that the drug abuse or drug use in Nigeria is higher than the global average. What can be done to these people?
First is sensitization. Listen, I was born in that community and never used drugs or anything or whatsoever. It's a choice. Do you understand? But at the same time, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So we need to get them involved in the process. We need to bring them in. We need to talk to them. We need to advocacy and all of that. It will work. You understand? We just can't leave them because they're doing X, Y, Z. Does it make them bad? No. We all have our vices, you understand? So we have to start talking to them. We have to start engaging them. We've been engaging them already through the CDAs and through the CDCs. We've been engaging them to see how they can come around and say, whatever it is you're doing is only going to ruin your life. Do you understand? If I got involved in the drug-related activities, I wouldn't be your chairman today. And people say that chairman is just a crackhead and stuff like that. But no, that has not been my case. But what we can do is advocacy works. You understand? Sensitization, we bring them together. What exactly do you want to do? We ask the right questions. Skills acquisition for them, get them jobs. Most of them go into it because they are depressed. So people get into drugs for various reasons. I'm not justifying anybody's actions, but as a government, we need to step in for our people. And that's the human face of whatever it is we're doing. So we must step in for them through advocacy, through the right channels, bring in the private sector. What can you do? How can you support our drive? How do you, and that has worked for us. Our partnership with the private sector, it has really worked for us. The corporates around here, they also need to know that whoever the chairman is, we can trust you. You can be entrusted with funds and all of that. And I say, you know what, me, I don't need.
Did you win their trust?
Of course, I didn't beg for it. It came. I didn't beg for it. The first 2 years of our work, I said I wasn't going to write to any corporate around there. I didn't write letters to anybody, CSR or whatever it was, because I wanted our work to speak for us. Just you just got elected. You're already writing letters. What do you want to do with the money that's in the account? So for me, it was a case of do the work, and they'll find you, and it has worked. I remember my first encounter with the former Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. He said his Baba said there's a local government chairman here that is fantastic, outstanding guy. He sent for me. He said it was his Baba that told him that you are different. You're cut from a different cloth. And I said, okay, sir. I went to see him in his official residence in Lagos. And we spoke, and that was it. So I'll tell you for free that there's nothing. Just do what you have to do.
Okay.
The right people will find you.
All right. And I think that's the place to draw the curtain right now. Now, we look forward to what next you will be doing. Where next are you going?
It's only God that can tell us.
Okay. All right. So because maybe like some of those that are sending messages right now, maybe they want to gather and buy you a ticket for the presidency.
Boy, it is well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming through, Fuad Atanda-Lawal, and I wish you best of luck in all what your future endeavors are.
Thank you so much.